everybody, Kevin here. Here's a nice recovery class. You can do at home over the next few days. A couple things you might want. I like to have a little block handy in case you need a prop for anything that we might be doing. If you don't have a block, a stack of books or anything else that can help give you a little bit of height is a good option. I also like to have a yoga strap available just in case anything we need might be utilized by a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, once again, a rolled up towel or just a belt works just as well. You don't need anything special. These are just things I like to have around just in case. We are going to, however, start on our backs. So come to a reclined position, constructive rest. Soles of the feet on the ground. Take a moment and allow yourself to close through the eyes. If closing through the eyes is uncomfortable, just kind of soften the gaze and find yourself resting on your mat. I like to take one hand to the belly and one hand to the chest. And we are just going to take a couple deep breaths here. On the inhale, feel your belly rise, your chest rise. On the exhale, feel your chest fall, your belly fall. We'll do 2 more breaths like that. Inhale, belly rises, chest rises. Exhale, chest falls, belly falls. One more. Inhale, belly rises, chest rises. Exhale, chest falls, belly falls. Continuing to keep that nice diaphragmatic breath as we move through these next few poses. Make sure at any point you come back to your breath that you need to. You can find yourself in this nice constructive rest position. Blink the eyes open. We're just going to move into some simple side to sides for the knees. You're just going to gently take these both over to the right. Let them come through center and drop them over to the left. Just a gentle left to right with the knees. Move at your own pace. We'll be taking about 3 to each side. 1 more to the right. 1 more to the left. Bringing the knees back through center, we are going to straighten through that left leg. You're going to send that left arm overhead. This is a nice thoracic spine twist, so an upper back twist here. What I want you to do is push down hard through that right foot. You'll feel your body begin to twist. Keep that knee pointed straight up towards the ceiling, and then that right arm is going to come across the body, reaching all the way to the opposite side of the room. Still keeping that knee pointed straight up towards the ceiling here. On the inhale, we're going to open it up. On the exhale, we'll close it back up again, reaching all the way across the body, finding a nice big twist. Let's go for 3 more. Press through the foot, twist the pelvis, twist the spine. Last 2. Press through the foot, feel the glute turn on, reach across the body, nice big twist. Last 1. And then we'll switch sides. Bend through that left leg, send the right leg straight. Switch the arms around, right arm overhead, left arm out to a T. We're going to press through that left foot. Feel the body begin to twist. Once again, keep that knee pointed straight up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, reach the hand across the body, reaching towards the opposite side of the room. Inhale as you open up. Exhale as you close it back down. Once again, paying attention to that knee, keeping it pointed straight up towards the ceiling. Feel the glute turn on as you begin to twist. Finish it off through the rest of the spine. Taking 1 more here. Aiming for about 3 to 5 of each of these movements as we go. Now we're going to bring this into a lower body twist, taking the arms out to a T for stability, and then you're going to stack the knees over the hips. I always like to have my feet nice and turned on here. Make sure they are engaged, as there's lots of muscles in your feet that can do some work. So we might as well utilize them here. Keeping the palms face up so your shoulders stay nice and relaxed. We're just going to simply keep the knees in alignment and take the knees off towards the right. Exhale as you pull through center. Inhale, take it off to the left. Avoiding this collapsing of the knees. You want to keep them nice and in alignment. Keep the pelvis stable as you go left to right, right to left. If you find this a difficult movement to do, this is a great time to add in a block or something to put between the knees to keep you nice and stable as you move side to side, keeping you honest with what those hips and knees are doing. Once again, aiming 3 to 5 each direction. We'll take one more each way. Inhaling to the right. Exhale, pull through center. Inhale to the left. Exhale, push through center. Bringing the feet straight down. If you have that block, keep it there. We're going to come into some bridge lifts. On your exhale, press through the feet, or on your inhale, inhale, press through the feet. Lift the butt up, reach the arms overhead. Nice big stretch. On the exhale, roll the spine down. Let the arms come to rest by the sides. Inhale, lift the butt, reach the arms overhead, squeeze at the top, get a nice good morning stretch. Exhale, roll the spine down, arms come to rest by the side. Let's take 2 more at your own pace. Press through the feet, lift the hips, reach and stretch. Last one. Setting that block off to the side now. We're going to come into some rock and rolls. This is going to be a little bit of core work here. You're going to hug your knees into your chest and begin to roll front to back, back to front. Doing the best you can to take that low back thwop out of it. Make it as smooth as possible as you roll front to back, back to front. Going for 2 more. And then we'll roll it all the way over, coming into a tabletop position. Hands beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. We're going to move into some cat-cows here. If you take classes with me, you know these are not your everyday cat-cows. So take these slow and listen to what I'm actually saying. You're going to start with just the pelvis. The goal being to find as much movement in just the pelvis as you can. Trying to isolate the pelvis from the rest of the spine. So every time you tuck and untuck here, you're going to try to make it just a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller, and a little bit smaller, until you feel like, that's just my pelvis moving. My spine's not doing very much at all. Once you feel like you have good control of that, you'll tuck that tailbone under. You'll let that wave of flexion make its way up the spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Bringing that flexion all the way up to the crown of the head. Bringing the chin and the tailbone towards one another to the best of your ability. Hold for a breath, make it slightly uncomfortable for yourself. And then we'll reverse it. Untuck the tailbone. Let that wave of extension flow its way up the spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Making your way into your cow until the crown of your head and your tailbone are reaching towards opposite sides of the room, making yourself as long as possible. We'll go through 2 more, tucking that tailbone under. Wave of flexion makes its way up the spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Slow and with control. Chin and tailbone pull towards one another. Squeeze in, hug in, make it slightly uncomfortable. And then we'll reverse it. Untuck the tailbone. Wave of extension makes its way up the spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Making yourself as long as possible. Crown of the head and tailbone reach away from one another. Last one, tailbone tucks under. Try to feel where you can move independently through the spine and where your spine moves in chunks. Reversing it, untucking the tailbone. Making your way into your cow. Spine as long as possible here. Crown of the head and tailbone reach away from one another. And then we'll make our way back to a neutral spine. Staying in this position, hands beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. Tucking those toes under if they weren't already. We're going to come into some pushbacks. Dropping the hips towards the heels, keeping the spine as neutral as possible. and bringing it all the way forward, getting a nice stretch on the wrists. Going for 2 more. Last one. We'll bring those hips back towards the heels and then walk the arms forward. Coming into a modified child's pose. Once again, trying to keep a nice neutral spine here, getting a stretch on the arms perhaps. We're going to move from here into a modified version of up dog. From here, reaching the hips forward and down, squeezing the butt, lifting the chest, and then sending the hips back. Inhale as you come forward, lift the chest up, press to the ground, squeeze the butt. Exhale as you press back, reach to the tailbone, press to the hands, making yourself as long as possible. We'll take one more. Reaching the hips back to where we started. We'll walk the hands in, coming into a 90-90 or shin box position. We have our left leg in front of us, right leg behind us. We're going to come into a little bit of a twist here. So if taking this position, your feet can be as close or far away from you as you like. If this is hurting the back knee at all, we have that block. We can take the block behind the back knee, take us out of a little bit of that rotation. It might help you stay out of any aches or pains. We want to not work into pain here, so propping that back knee with a block, a towel, anything you might have is a good place to be. So keep that in mind as we're moving. Sitting yourself up nice and tall, you're going to place your left hand down, reach that right arm across the body, come into a nice twist. And then we'll go the opposite way, right arm down, left arm reaches across the body, nice big twist. Hands come down, feet are your fulcrum of movement. You're going to windshield wiper the knees over. Do the same thing. Right arm comes down, left arm twists. Left arm come down, right arm twists. Feet are your fulcrum of movement. Windshield wiper those knees over, going forward again. Reaching across the body, reaching across the body. Windshield wiper over, reach, and reach. Let's take one more each direction. When you are all done, we'll meet back right back where we started in that 90-90 position with our left leg in front, right leg behind us. We're going to come into some lifts here, some 90-90 knee stand lifts. If you have issues with knees or your hips, a block is a great tool to have here. I would adjust yourself so you can make sure your knees are on your mat, or if you're on a carpet, it's another good place to be. From here, what you're going to do is I suggest the first time using your prop, lifting yourself up, pressing into the floor, coming up to a knee stand. Once you get up to that knee stand, squeeze the knees towards each other, squeeze your butt at the top. You'll feel your inner thighs, your hips turn on. And then with as much grace as possible, you'll drop yourself back onto the floor and relax. We're going to go up again. This time you get to decide whether or not you need to use that prop. If you need to use that prop, it's there. Otherwise, you can set the prop off to the side, pressing down through the legs to lift yourself up, squeeze in at the top, and then as gently as you can, kiss your glutes back down to the ground with as much control as possible. Try to avoid that plop at the last little bit. Those last 2 to 3 inches are the hardest, so keep yourself under control as much as you can throughout the whole thing. Lift up, squeeze at the top again, and then slowly set down. We'll go for 2 more. Pressing down through the knees, lifting straight up, squeeze in, set it back down. Last one, lift up, squeeze, and set it back down. We'll switch sides. All right, right leg in front, left leg behind. Same thing, round two. As this is a different side, keep that prop with you. Right off next to the side. First time through, I highly suggest using a block. Get yourself up. Assess how you're feeling at the top. How's your knees? How's your hips? Squeeze in, squeeze the butt. Feel the inner thighs, the hips turn on. As carefully and as gently as you can, using your prop if you need it. Set yourself back down. Then you can assess, do I need the prop on this side or do I not? If you don't need the prop, set it off to the side. Otherwise, keep using it. As we press down, lift up. Squeeze in, squeeze the butt. As gently as you can, kiss the hips towards the ground. Once again, avoiding that last little plop in those last 2 to 3 inches there. Lift up, squeeze. Slowly, carefully set yourself down. We're gonna go for 2 more. Press down to lift up. Squeeze in, squeeze the glutes. Lower down. Last one, press down, lift up. Squeeze in, squeeze the glutes. Slowly set yourself back down. All right, we're gonna move into our tripod transition. You're gonna want that left leg bent, right leg straight. Right arm is gonna come out as your kickstand off to the side. So this is 3 different levels we're gonna work through here. Level 1, you're gonna press down through your right hand and left foot and attempt to lift the butt up off the ground. If you can manage that pretty easily, awesome. Move on to level 2. If that is hard, just work with level 1. Lift and lower that butt. Our level 2 is going to be lifting the butt and the leg. So if you are ready and it's part of your routine, you're going to lift that butt and that leg off the ground and set it back down. If this is relatively easy and you're like, okay, I got this, I think I can manage, here's where the fun comes in. You're going to lift that leg up, hug the knee to the chest, kick it around and through, kind of like a modified bird dog, really high-tech bird dog there. Hug it back through, kick the leg out, lift the hips up, bring it back down. We're going to come back through, hug it in and kick, and then bring it back through and reach. At the top here, squeeze your butt, reach to the fingertips, reach through the foot, bring it all the way back around. We'll go for 2 more. Reach the hips, reach the arm, kick it through. Last one. Set the butt back down with a kiss, not a plop. And then we'll switch sides. Once again, as I mentioned, this is at the level you can do it. So if level 1 is where you're at, do that for 5 to 7 rounds. If level 2 is where you're at, do that one for 5 to 7 rounds. If you're all in with level 3, awesome. Do as many as you can, 3 to 7. Whatever works for you, make it so that you can make them crisp, clean, and perfect each time through. Switching sides, we've got our right leg bent, left leg straight, left arm is coming out for a kickstand. Different side, different levels. You decide where you're at for this side. So once again, we're going to start at the beginning. Pressing through the right foot, left arm, can you lift your butt? If that's relatively easy, we check the butt and the leg. Can you get that up? Once again, if that's relatively easy, we can move on to our full-on tripod transition, pressing through the hand, the foot, hug it in, kick it through, bringing it back around, lift the hips, squeeze the butt at the top, reach through the arm, reach through the foot, hug it in and back through, and bring it back around. We're going to take 2 more at your pace. Make them controlled. Reach the arm, reach the hand. Kick the leg out, lift the hips. Last one. Reach the arm, reach the leg. Kick it back through, lift the hips. And then with as much grace as possible, set the butt back down on the ground. All right, we are going to come into our final little bit. A leg stretch series. This is the point where you want your strap, your belt, your rolled up towel, whatever works for you, whatever you have available at your house. We're going to come onto our spines, strapping up that right leg. You're going to take that right leg down to the ground. Taking this leg down to the ground is going to give me access to my spine.
So from this position, I'm going to make sure I'm in a neutral spine, I'm not overarched, and I'm not rolling down, pressing my low spine into the back, pressing my low back into the ground. I'm going to try to maintain a neutral spine, which means a little bit of space between my low back and the mat. As we do this, I'm going to slowly lift my leg, just to the point where I start losing that space between my low back and the mat. Now you have a couple options here. Option one, hang out, get the hamstring stretch, hold the strap. If you want to work for a little bit of strength, I'm going to suggest letting the strap go. You are still getting that hamstring stretch. You're just going to feel that hip flexor, that quad, doing a little bit more work. However, you are still getting a stretch, so don't discount that just because you want the stretch. You can strengthen and get a stretch at the same time. Breathe through it, hold and maintain. Keep the knee straight, keep the spine neutral. Got 2 more breaths here. Last one. We will grab that strap, hold it in our right hand. Left hand's going to come to the top of the pelvis. We're going to open the leg out towards the right. Now, once again, 2 options. I'm going to suggest the second one just so we can all get a nice strong inner thigh. However, if letting this strap go is not your wheelhouse, hold the strap just a little bit less. Can you give yourself a little more weight in that leg? Otherwise, you're going to let that strap go completely. Seeing if your inner thigh can hold your leg up. Once again, you are still getting that inner thigh strength. Stretch, you are also getting strengthening as well. 2 more breaths. Shaking is a good thing. It means it's working. 1 more. Then you will muster all your might. Pull that leg all the way back through center. Grab the strap with the left hand. Take it across the body. Nice big twist. This one should just feel good. Nothing super fancy or special. Keep that strap in the left hand. Reach the right arm away. Enjoy the twist. On your exhale, pull that leg all the way back through center. Dance your left leg in, send that right leg straight. We're going to start at the very beginning, once again, dropping that left leg down. Find a nice neutral spine, not overextended, not pressing the low spine into the back, into the ground, somewhere in between. From here, keeping that neutral spine, I'm going to lift my leg up, just to the point where I feel my low back starting to press into the mat. That's where I'm going to stop. Feeling a nice hamstring stretch here. I'm going to make my decision. Since I did strength on the other side, I'm going to go for strength on this side, letting the strap go. Keeping in mind that strap's there in case you need it. So if at any point it becomes too much, just grab the strap. Nice, long, slow breaths. Deep inhales, slow, steady exhales. I like to once again pull my toes towards my shin, make sure my foot is highly active here. Two more deep breaths. Last one. We're going to reach down, grab that strap with our left hand, take the right hand to the top of the pelvis, open the leg up. Pressing down through that right foot, you get to make your decision. Can I let the strap go completely? Can I just loosen up on the strap a little bit? What is my inner thigh going to allow me to do today? This is a great time to see, can my inner thigh hold my leg up in space? Do I have the strength to do that? Sometimes for me the answer is yes, sometimes it's no. Today it's a little shaky, that's all right. I'm going to embrace those shakes and let my muscles try to do their work. Once again, keeping the foot nice and active here by pulling those toes towards the shin. One more breath. Mustering all my might, pulling that leg all the way back through center. I'm going to grab the strap with the right hand, take the leg all the way across the body, coming into a nice full twist. Left arm will come out to the side. This should just feel good. Nothing super crazy with this one. Just let yourself relax into it. On your exhale, pulling that leg all the way back through center. We'll unstrap the leg, set it off to the side, bend through those knees. We'll make our way back onto our spine, our constructive rest position, feet flat on the ground, one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. Taking a few deep breaths. Inhale, belly rises, chest rises. Exhale, chest falls, belly falls. Inhale, belly rises, chest rises. Exhale, chest falls, belly falls. Staying here, breathing in this diaphragmatic way for as long as you like. We are all finished here. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good one.